The world of horses has so many colorful and compassionate people in it. And at the Delaware Horse Expo recently, I got to meet so many different characters from so many different walks of equine life, including our next special guest. Joining me now is Alex Brown. He's a horse trainer and also the author of Greatness and Goodness, Barbaro and His Legacy. And before we get into the icon Barbaro, we want to hear about your connections with Delaware because you're actually a graduate of the University of Delaware, right?
Yeah, I actually got my MBA degree at the University of Delaware and teach in the marketing department.
That is so neat. Okay. Well, we love to have our first staters, even though you don't sound like you're a native of Delaware. Is that correct?
That is correct. I've been in the area for about 24 years, but I'm actually originally from just south of Manchester in England.
Tell me about Barbaro. Why was he so special? And just tell me about this book.
Well, I mean, I had the privilege of watching Barbaro train a little bit at Fairhill Training Center up in Maryland. So I knew the horse personally. I mean, he was a fantastic winner of the Kentucky Derby, probably the most dominating winner since Secretariat. The nation really got behind this horse, and then obviously we know what happened in the Preakness, the tragedy, and then the 8-month struggle and to survive. And I just got kind of involved in the story. And after he passed, the Jacksons, his owners, we talked one day about a book, and they said if you wanted to write a book, they'd support it. Yeah.
Now, there are other horses in the past that have been injured in races. What do you think the connection is? Like, why do people feel such an emotional, attachment to this horse?
I believe there's a variety of reasons, but, certainly social media helped because for the first time, here's a horse struggling to survive that people were really getting behind, and they could connect with each other. And I think that played a major role. And when you had the issue of Ruffian, you really didn't have social media, but nor did Ruffian survive very long after she broke her leg. So you have that time frame involved too. He was a spectacular winner of the Derby, as I mentioned, so he was undefeated. We love our undefeated sports teams, and he was a hero, and we love our heroes. So I think there were a lot of factors that got everybody excited about this horse. And I will say he very nearly made it. He literally was within a week of shipping to Three Chimneys Farm in Kentucky in early January before his laminitis sort of resurfaced and ultimately ended his life.
Oh, it was a great tragedy, definitely, in racing, and I know he's deeply missed. I mean, even though he wouldn't have been racing again. Wow, I mean, what a legend this horse was. Now, you are mainly with Thoroughbreds, but you have really pushed your book also in the Standardbred world, and you have a great story with Sam McKee. Everybody loves the voice of Sam McKee from the Meadowlands, and Sam's a great guy anyway, so you got to meet him and have some fun with him.
I've met Sam McKee and I beat him in a show contest, ride a buck. For the first time I've ever ridden a Standardbred horse, which was a lot of fun. I actually won my first blue ribbon in about 40 years, and Sam McKee finished second. He just couldn't outlast the iron legs that I have, I guess.
So very neat. So you're talking about these were retired Standardbreds and you were actually on their backs riding them.
Yeah, and I do a lot of work on the Thoroughbred side for sort of rehabbing and second careers, and certainly on the Standardbred side that work goes on too, and they're doing some real good work with the USTA and some other organizations. And this was an event in New Jersey that I attended, and I was doing a book signing. They're like, Alex, come ride this horse. I'm like, okay, I got my helmet in my car, why not? I go to the horse. It's like, well, there's no saddle. Get on the horse. I haven't ridden a horse bareback forever, never mind never having ridden a Standardbred, but this horse jogged around beautifully, cantered around beautifully, a beautiful looking horse. And I think sometimes Standardbreds are overlooked because people just presume all they can do is pull a buggy, or whatever the politically correct term is for a car. Maybe it's a car, right?
It's a sulky, but we'll take buggy.
But, I had a lot of fun that day, and that was a beautiful looking horse too.
Thank you for the endorsement on how versatile our Standardbreds are, so I appreciate that. Now, finally, if someone wants to buy your book, where can they purchase it?
You can find it online. It is in a number of bookstores, and people have been very supportive of the book. So I'm thrilled with that. The racing industry on our side and and even on your side, it's been very good. So, but yeah, Amazon would be the easiest way.
Thank you, Alex, for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.